All right, welcome to another episode of My F Buddies, the podcast. And I say podcast because there's also a blog under the name of My FX Buddies, and you can find it at myfxbuddies.blogspot.com. And there's a video. Okay, there's two ways to see the video. You can have a paid for account at spotify.com, and then look for My FX Buddies. And then also on YouTube, there'll be a podcast, but in the more description, show more box, whatever, there's a link to the video. Also, a link to the video is on the blog. So the video, and you're gonna want to see this video because there's some interesting things. Because all this stuff is pretty boring, right? So every now and then I try to find something fun to throw in there. And if you see the thumbnail, there's a little box. Can you tell what that box is? It's a kiosk. What a weird word, right? Kiosk. Anyway, there's one more thing for the announcements. Ooh, I think we just had an earthquake. Okay. RSS.com has a transcript. So RSS.com, look for My FX Buddies, My FX Buddies, and then the transcript is there so you can read. It does a pretty good job. And then I just got another notification from Apple Podcasts. In 6 months, I don't know why they feel they have to tell us now, but in 6 months, they'll be offering transcripts as well. I wish they would go to video. But anyway, so if you're listening Apple, give your listeners a chance to see video content. All right. Okay. I think that's it, right? RSS. Oh, YouTube, everything that I show is covered under Fair Use Disclaimer Act because it's just for sharing, commentary, teaching, critique, all that good stuff. All right, so let's get into it because I don't want this to be long. So you can see okay, as I record this one is not going to have any military stuff because it's very sad, right? But I'm probably going to do another post tomorrow because as we speak, it looks like there's been a hit. And still, not us, we were the ones hit. And we still haven't even responded, right? So, January 30th, right now as I speak, I just don't want to talk about it right now, okay? So, I'll probably do another recording tomorrow. So you may see 2 recordings for January 31st, depending on how quickly I get this one uploaded. Because, of course, I procrastinated till the last minute, right? But actually, I was having a difficult time, as always, trying to decide what to put in and what not to put in. So that's another reason why you should go to the blog because there's more articles there. Some of the articles I don't get to speak on for time's sake. So this one's called Prime Ministers. Oh, yeah, I chopped it up, but you can see. So the title is Prime Ministers that Iraq will not be an arena for conflict and are pursuing banking reform. And that's what we want to focus on. That they're still, with all the kablooies going off in the surrounding countries and in their country, they are still pressing forth with the banking reform. So this is the full title of this article. Today's newspapers are interested in the reassurance of the presidents of the republic and the prime ministers that Iraq will not be an arena for conflict and are pursuing banking reform. So, this is a site. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes they do a summary of what's going out in Arab world newspapers. And they did this one and it's excellent. So this is from Tuesday. Oh yeah, it is Tuesday. Okay. The newspapers issued Tuesday focused on what I just said, right? Okay. Let's see. So they had a meeting and the president, this guy, I think I have their picture here. His name is, he has 4 names, but I can only remember one at a time. And right now, none of them are coming to my mind. Rashad, something with the R. Anyway, and Sudani. So Sudani's the prime minister. The other guy whose name I can't think of right now, his title is actually President of the Republic of Iraq. Then the other quote unquote president, right, is the House Speaker. So they have 3 presidents, sometimes 4, because there's this judge, like the head judge of the Supreme something council. Some articles, they call him a president also, even though he's just the head judge, whatever. So that's why because it's kind of confusing for people who don't know, right? So that's why I'm doing that. Okay. So what was the focus? Oh, it's really long. Okay. Rashid. There's his name. See, he has 4 names. Abdul Latif Jamal Rashid. So we can skip that. They discussed, this is all about, they want to develop and improve the living and service conditions of their honorable people. Isn't that nice? They're not being called deplorables or whatever. Let me leave that alone. But they're calling their citizens honorable. So they're talking about this RIADA initiative, which is like banking for the youth, loans for, but who cares, right? That doesn't have anything to do with the RV. That's good for them, but nothing for us. Okay, here. Stressing providing adequate financial support for loans for the youth, digitizing the projects, right? And activating the private sector. Ding, ding, ding. Now, this is the only bad part. So it says the other syndicates focused on banking reform and quoted the government's financial advisor, Mohammed Majar. I don't know, Majar, that's how I would say that. Mohammed Saleh as saying that the time limit for concrete banking reform will be 6 months. I know. We don't like 6 months because that even goes past April, right? But concrete, maybe they've already got it up running and it's solid, right? Where in the beginning it could be a little shaky, right? So yeah, but anyway, that's the only bad part. So he says if we return to the government curriculum of 2022, the priorities were financial and banking reform. And then they talk about assets in the banks. It goes back to 2003. They were very old mechanisms that are not compatible with the global ATM. Pay attention, ATM. And at the same time, they are not integrated with the banking market. Then they talk about the bank. So you really should read this. It's very encouraging in my opinion. And also, they're working on the banking sector, whether traditional banks or Islamic banks. And I can explain that some other time. All right, there is a difference. And yes, here in America, guess what? We have Islamic banking laws. Did you know that? Yeah, we do. Anyway, all right. And all of that is in the cooperation and supervision of the CBI. We can call it a renaissance in reworking banks. If you don't know the definition of renaissance, you should go look it up. And blah, blah, blah. And payments within the economy, and these are based on a bank account. And all of these operations strengthen the reality of banks and strengthen financial inclusion. And there's more. And then I put here, the financial part ends there. So that's the last paragraph. And then there's other stuff, which I didn't even read. Okay. Ooh, what is this? I don't know why. I think this goes together. But for some reason, this is a different font. All right. And I put, this is a good article too. Empowering the Iraqi economy, growth through strategic investments and banking excellence. Like that word, right? So this was held at a university. It's the 3rd annual economic forum, and it was all day, and you should come read about it. All right. Okay, look at this. Kiosks for issuing electronic payment cards in Baghdad. So there it is. There's one picture, and they're starting at gas stations. They're setting up kiosks to issue electronic payment cards to citizens in cooperation with the electronic payment companies. So they've been talking about this for 2 days. Okay, so this was the first article that came out. And here's another picture and another picture and another picture. And initially, I was thinking, how easily could they also disseminate, whatever the right word that should be there, the lower denominations from there. But then I was like, they're in parking lots. They could get robbed. So maybe that wouldn't be a good idea. But so then someone calls for an investigation into the key card kiosks at gas stations. Were they allowed? So that was that was towards the end of the day of the first day that these came out. And then this morning, yes, starting the service of issuing electronic cards at gas stations for free, for free, for free. Because remember, Sadani said, you're not going to be breaking the back of the citizen by charging them all these fees to use these cards. But just wait, just wait. They'll get back to them. They always do that, right? At first they're free, and then, oh, well, they were free, but now we're going to add these fees. But anyway, so then it says the service will be introduced successively throughout the capital, Baghdad, and the provinces. So, of course, where do they start? Baghdad, and it will move out through the other, this says provinces. So, and here's the inside. This, I think there's 2. There may be 2, but you can see here they have a computer. This, I think, is the machine that imprints the card. And they have a printer here. There's a window. There's a door. So see there, it is tiny. And there's too many people lining up yet. But this just started, right? Okay, and then here, see, isn't that a different guy? Let's see. Oh, it's the same guys. Because look, there's a hat and a white shirt. Hat and a white shirt. Okay. So maybe they're training each other or he's training him. I don't know, but whatever. So yeah, I think that is great because that says, hey, we're very serious about getting you these cards. I know you don't want to use these cards, but we're going to force you to use them. So we're making it easier for you to get them, right? Okay, so this was the little fun thing. This is causing an uproar. Social media platforms in Iraq. witnessed widespread controversy over a video. I still have not found the video of showing women's slipper for home use. So these are house shoes, house slippers. Let me see. Can I blow this up for those of you watching on your cell phone? It's still not very clear, but they're just like slip-in flats, right? Guess what they're made out of? Pure gold. But its price seemed shocking. According to the video, they're 163 million Iraqi dinars, equivalent to approximately $125,000. So I have here, yeah, just by hanging around the house shoes, I just walk around with $125,000 on my feet. But guess what? If you remember I shared that article where they said there's people in Abu Dhabi or Dubai, I can't remember, making $5 million. They could afford to buy some gold slippers, right? But anyway, so you have to, this is one of the things you just have to see, because I'm the only nut that's going to pay attention to this. I bet you they're not going to go around Dinarland, right? Well, most people know I love me some gold. All right. So now this is interesting. Operating. So not planning, not building. This is in operation. The first phase of the integrated Arab trade line between Egypt, Jordan, and Iraq. And there's the fancy looking truck. There's one over there. Nice, whatever this is that they're pulling out of. But yeah, so you should come read that. It's a transport of goods in the Gulf countries to the ports of European and American countries. Clearly, they're not driving to America, but yeah, so that's up and running. All right. And then look at this. The Bank of Jordan links Iraq through an electronic system with 4 Arab countries. And who are the countries? So financial services, oh, I like this. Financial services are not limited to technological luxury, but have become one of the basics of financial institutions to improve their services and digital transformation to meet customers' needs around the clock. Yep. 24/7 global business. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. But here are the countries. The Bank of Jordan is present in many Arab countries, including Iraq, Palestine, Bahrain, and Syria. And now we are in the process of opening a branch in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So they're all going to do this together. They're connected by the Bank of Jordan and electronic payment systems. Right? Forward progress. Do I like it? I don't, but it's the way of the world, right? So I have to get over it. Okay, so here's some Kurdish news. I'm just going to lump this all together, but look at this. 235 ATMs to be installed in Erbil, or Erbil, or Erbil. They say it all kinds of ways, but it's the capital of Kurdistan. I believe Erbil is the capital of Kurdistan because the civil servants are now to receive their salaries electronically. Just like Iraq has been doing for 3 years now, and they've been trying to get the Kurds to do. About 80 service centers will be installed in Erbil to accommodate approximately 235 ATMs from various banks. But guess what else? What will the people be able to get out of the ATMs? What have we heard about for years and years? The lower denominations are in the ATMs. So I would love to see a photo of these ATMs. Somebody, if someone's listening in Kurdistan or Iraq, once they get installed and connected, I'd love to see some video of them. So yeah, I think this is great. More forward movement. Also aligning them with Baghdad, right? So the whole country will be on the same digital system, same platforms. Following, it'll be in line with Know Your Customer, which is global. Yep. So there'll be 4 banks offering through the. Oh, actually. Oh no. Okay. It says they have 5 banks, but 4 of them will be through the ATMs: Asher, BBAC, Sihan, and RT. I don't know. I don't recognize RT Bank. I recognize the others. Anyway, so that's great, right? 17% of investors in Kurdistan are foreigners. So look at that. I don't know if this is what it looks like now, but this is a beautiful city, right? And look at the sky. Look at the sky. That's a Sade song. Look at, very modern, right? Beautiful. That's Kurdistan, or part of Kurdistan. Whoops. Sorry. So yeah, you could read that if you want. I think it also says they went to, they've already announced 154 projects worth about $300 million. That can't be right. Oh, 4 billion. So that's 4 trillion, right? Nope, 4 billion. Sorry, it is. I get confused. You guys know me in numbers. $4,300,000,000. And there, if you want, there's more detail, but for time's sake, we're gonna skip it. Zabari. I think I talked about him yesterday. I did. Hoshar Zabari. See? How would you say that? Hoshar Zabari. Anyway, so here he is. Baghdad does not adhere to the provisions related to oil and the Kurds' share of the budget. So Baghdad's trying to say what? The Kurds are holding us up. And the Kurds are like, Baghdad's holding us up. And I think there's 2 more articles here. This is Talabani. Kubad Talabani. He wears a suit very nicely. He hints at the possibility of the international coalition forces remaining and confirms ISIS still poses a threat to Iraq. So there's still, some are saying get them out, some are saying no, we need them. That is still the case. Parliamentary oil. Kurdish obstacles prevent the resolution of the oil and gas law. So I just wanted you to see all of that conversation is still going on. Here's my one commercial. Don't leave money on the table. $75 to be exact. I think this, you can click this image. Look, yes, I did this and I should know. Something, either this or the image, and it will take you to the offer, but here's details about it too. All right. And yes, it's true and it works, and I've done it myself, and it is not a business. All right. So now here's some, this is another meeting that Sudani had. Look at all these people. But it was recommending structuring government companies and reforming them financially and economically. So just so you know, that's what they're still talking about, right? Even though all the other stuff is going on around them, they're still moving forward. So here, there have been sanctions placed on a bank or 2, but guess what? Today, they put on 8 more, but all the details are not out yet. So maybe tomorrow, the 30, oh, look at that. It's the 31st now. Maybe the details of those other 8 will be out. But here, the chief U.S. sanctions official is in Baghdad to curb dollar smuggling to Iran. And this is a nice little article to read about what's going on. What's going on? I love music, if you can't tell. I love music, and hearing words usually prompts a song, so forgive me. All right. Parliament expects more. Treasury sanctions will not stop or affect the dollar exchange rate. And this goes on to say they're going to put sanctions on us, you guys, if you keep messing with them and telling them to get out. They're going to sanction our banks, sanction our money. And just think about, okay, so, and remember, it's just these banks and probably the people who own the banks. It's not the country. It's not the currency. And what it is it's keeping them from doing business in dollars. But what is that going to do to the dollar price on the parallel market? It's going to raise it because there's less places for the people to go to get the dollar, right? So, supply and demand, if it works like they teach you in school, they still need the same supply. They still have the same demand, but there's less suppliers. So, the price is going to continue to go up. So, hopefully I'm wrong, but we'll see. We will be here to see. Okay. Ooh, that's kind of long. The U.S. Treasury confirms its commitment to joint work with Iraqi government. Yeah, we're from the U.S. Treasury and we're here to help. So you can read that. Now this looks long, but it's not. It's not very long. All right. So here, the central bank put out instructions regarding prepaid Visa, MasterCards. I think I talked about this already because if you read this, see it says March 21st, 2071. How many years away is 2071? So clearly that's not the right number, but the AI has problems translating the Arabic numbers, so I just leave it. It really doesn't matter, right? But they are very specific, and it even talks about ATM machines, what they can get out of the ATM. I feel since they're putting this out, and look, there's the formal document on their letterhead, and here I translated it. So since they have the specifics, this is probably up and running already, even though I think it says it starts March 1st. So yeah. So Muhammad Saleh, he did an interview like he does very often, and they clearly want the citizens to see this because look, here's one version. Speculators manipulate dollar exchange rates. Film at 11, right? So that's one. It's a little long. Here's a shorter version. So the issue is related to regional security tensions, which provide colored or ambiguous information that affects the decisions of speculators and blah, blah, blah. So here we have this man who's been in Iraq all his life. He's been in his position for 43 years. He's saying, look, things are getting tense. And that's not going to help the dollar rate. So you have all these other people. NATO came out and said, oh, it's stable and secure. Someone in Britain came out and said it. But here you have the people inside, right? Top government people saying, things are getting tense. So it's not good. All right, and here's another version. Speculators took advantage of the region's tensions to make profits in the dollar market. And the same guy. The fluctuation disappears when the influencer disappears. I like that. So if you want to come, you can see that. Look at that. We're done. 30 minutes. So I'm not going to linger on. I'm going to say thank you. I have a couple of new subscribers. Thank you. Welcome aboard. Give it time. You'll get used to me. I'm just trying to help people hang in there because I know other places in Denarland tell you, oh, this weekend, depending on who you listen to, it's going to happen this weekend. It's going to happen tomorrow, right? And I'm telling you, slow your roll. It ain't happening tomorrow. It ain't happening this weekend based on the articles. Now, articles are a snapshot of a moment in time because very typical with Iraq. One article can come out and 2 hours later, something totally different can come out. But just to keep your sanity, it's good to see these articles are written for the citizens, right? They're not written for me. They're not written for you. They're written for the citizens. So reading them gives us insight into partially, because I do believe they say things on TV that we don't get to see, but we get a partial look at what they're telling their citizens. All right, so thank you. I will close out with accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals, pay all your bills. And if you need some money to pay your bills, go to my blog and click that link. And again, thank you for listening. Enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you are enjoying this content. And until next time.